Hey, I don't know why I went with Chris Mad Dog Russo with my intro, but welcome to the 94th edition of the Slamcast. Thank you very much to Stephen Richards of the Retro Unlim Network for providing me with information that has long been elusive to me. We are very close to episode 100.
First week in November by my count.
Episodes away. And maybe even say we have special guests working on it. It's watch this space. We'll have more episodes about, more information about our 100th episode as it comes along. I am Brandon Liggan. I am joined, as always, by my lovely co-producer, Nick Horaceck.
Yep, I'm here. I'm good. Just cold, rainy out where I'm at, and I gotta go to work later today. Gotta go make the fuck money. So yeah,
it's all about the fuck money.
Yes.
We have a very special returning guest. Leslie Joy is back on the podcast. How's it going, Les?
Spectacular as always. My less than perfect return.
Yes, that was the guy I rolled out all the fanfare for you.
I know, I appreciate it.
So I'm going to go into a brief editorial comment before we get into everything. And this is I'm going to get on the political platform for a little bit here. Oblige me this space. I promise we'll get back to the wrestling and dick jokes. But I think it's good conscience that I say this. Police killing people is bad. That's an obvious statement. You know what's also bad? Destroying your own community. That achieves absolutely nothing. I understand being discontented with your situation, but
you lose a moral.
There are more constructive ways of getting your point together than destroying hotels, retail shops, people's personal property. Like that ultimately achieves nothing, and the people that are doing that are not not doing that to serve the political means. They do that to serve their own means and are simply using the political situation to do so. Just like people in the media calling out people that are protesting, using those people that are using the protest for political means, non-political means, they are just as culpable as well in this. This is my plea for sanity. Let's not destroy each other because that's not helping anybody. Let's have a frank and honest discussion about how we train police officers and who we're potentially hiring for police officers. I'm not coming out as against the police, but to ignore the problem and to say it's just one or two bad apples this isn't just
it's the polar
media.
Opposite. There's a few good apples and they get taken out of the barrel.
Yeah, exactly. I know many people that put on the badge every night, and they're equally as
cops too. So it's
exactly. It's we need to have a frank and discussion and rational political discussion. And I mean, I don't know. This might be, a radical idea here, but let's talk about an idea before we jump to conclusions about why it's being done. That's my 2 cents. I thank you all for listening to it. Let's not destroy each other's community. Let's not destroy our own communities. Because what's that really going to cause?
If the
she's nothing.
If the cops can bring in the guy that planted those bombs in New York last week, if they could bring in someone like Dylan Roof alive, And
I'm not going into that. Like that goes into individual cases, and I'm not going to talk individual cases. But it's responses to that only makes the situation worse. And I'm hoping this situation gets resolved quickly before it reaches a point, and then people start taking shots at cops, because that's where this situation dangerously trends toward. Like some lone nutcase on the other side is going to get trust and then say fuck the police and start taking shots.
Oh yeah, and then we devolve into
and as we get more and more into this political season, I'm probably going to do more of these political comments because I think it's my right. This is my duty as to have this platform.
Yeah, for what, we are on iTunes now, by the way.
I'm doing a disservice to my country, God damn it, by not expressing my opinions on the internet.
Yeah.
So, how conceited that sounds, whatever. All right. Now on.
My career canceled 2 inner city youth today, so I'm good on the social.
There you go. Right. You've done your social justice warrioring for the day. So have I. That's me. All right. Now on to the fun stuff. This is I have another personal direct plea to Dana White or anybody who may know Dana White who's listening out to this podcast. If you really plan on going with Khabib Nurmagomedov, no offense to Khabib Nurmagomedov, hell of a fighter, not the kind of person that if you want to really, really, really make a splash in the media capital of the world, dip your toe in New York, Khabib Nurmagomedov for your first Madison Square Garden show. If you want to really say that the UFC is going to make a point, and New York is going to be their new marquee venue or marquee location, which I think it could be, they have to do something better than Khabib Nurmagomedov for the first UFC fight. I'm trying to remember what that actually. I literally just announced it, and it's like, really, that's what you're going with. So maybe you want to try again, Dana. Maybe trying to throw some money around to see if there's somebody out there that Conor wants to fight. I think if you do anything less than Conor McGregor or Ronda Rousey for New York, or Chris Weidman, at least give us somebody that you want to see or New York deserves. That's all I'm saying. I mean, Frankie Edgar comes close. That's what I'm looking. I was looking at that. Frankie Edgar.
I think it's got to be Ronda or Conor. Bottom line.
Frankie Edgar's a good point to think. But I mean, Dana White says McGregor's injured now, and he's unlikely.
Well, if he's injured, then there's not much they can do about that.
It's Eddie. Sorry, it's Eddie Alvarez, Khabib Nurmagomedov. That's what it was. No offense to Eddie Alvarez too. Eddie Alvarez is a hell of a fighter as well, and absolutely one of the best. But it's just that to me doesn't have the juice. It doesn't have the juice, man, as a super fight between Alvarez and McGregor would.
But if McGregor's injured, then they
that's quotation marks injured. We'll see how bad the foot was after the Diaz fight. I mean, they could have just. There wasn't really, specific details about how bad it was. He was obviously broke his foot. How bad of a break was yet to be released. But I don't know, man. So moving on into other lighter news, we had a very interesting article in the New York Post that was come out, and odd one because it was not in the New York Post sports section. It was the New York Post business section. An article written about the potential sale of Impact Wrestling. It was an article mentioning that Billy Corgan was trying to take over full control of Impact from the other equity stakeholders, Dixie Carter, all the other media companies that also have an equity stake. But one other little tidbit that was released in that article that certainly piqued a lot of wrestling fans around the world, that WWE is interested in acquiring Impact Wrestling, as well as the Sinclair Group, owners of Ring of Honor. So we may or may not be in the midst of a professional wrestling bidding war right now. Who knows what is coming? This is only in its very stages in its very infancy. This was on a think a Friday. So this is absolutely when they try and sneak articles that
they don't want people
aren't going to pay attention to.
Right.
This is there's a lot of interest. There's a lot of, where there's smoke, there's fire. I think keep your eyes peeled on the internet, because could be only a matter of months before this isn't going to be done overnight. I think this is probably going to be done over the weeks and maybe months. Probably by the end of the year, maybe going into fiscal year 2017, we'll see the acquisition of Impact Ventures, Impact Wrestling, by either Billy Corgan becoming the sole majority owner. Billy Corgan says he wants to be sole owner by Bound for Glory. That's first week in October.
That's soon. That's
very soon. I would be very surprised.
No,
I would be very surprised, highly surprised, if negotiations concluded that quickly, with something that the price that was being touted for it being around $30 million, which immediately on our Facebook forum touted out speculation whether or not Impact Wrestling was even worth $40 million, which how they got the $40 million, which was market value for the WWE is twice its annual revenue. So that figure comes from obviously $20 million is Impact Wrestling's annual revenue. Multiplied by 2, reaches $40 million. Around $40 million was the number being.
I don't know. I kind of have a feeling they're maybe pump up that number a little bit.
I mean, what do they? I mean, the tape library. So you got to think of what their assets are. Their tape library.
I bet that's where a lot of it comes from.
WWE has no interest in 6-sided rings.
Right.
So a bunch of 6-sided rings aren't really gonna really gonna do anything unless you could take a 6-sided ring and make it a 4-sided ring. I don't know how
were all the 6-sided rings converted from 4-sided to begin with, or
I have literally no idea. Like I'm only an expert in setting them up and taking them down. I have no idea in how to construct them. Like that would be.
Yeah, I don't see WWE wanting the 6-sided rings in that. I think AJ Styles once talked about how when they went from the 6-sided to the 4-sided, he took before that he was a top rope overhead belly to belly from Kurt Angle, and he's like, no more, I'm never doing that again. And then they went to the 4-sided and they did the same move, and it was like landing on pillows, or however you put it.
Yeah, because I guess I'm assuming if the 6-sided ring, it just means more cross beams, so that means more metal underneath. Where in a 4-sided ring, you only have like limited amount of beams going across the width of the ring, so it less chance that you're actually landing on where one beam meets another beam. That's the hardest part of any ring, is where the two beams meet.
Right. So it's
like the apron. That's where all of it meets. Like that's the hardest part of the ring. You don't want to take any kind of bumps on the apron. And then every ring is kind of different, I guess you could say, but usually where
definitely. But yeah, that's.
I can imagine AJ not wanting to do that on a 6-sided ring compared to a 4-sided ring.
Yeah.
So we'll see how this goes. Ring of Honor though was really the interesting one in this. Other than the talent alone, and them trying to obviously make a play into as legitimate competition to WWE. This one really truly flabbergasted me. Like I would almost want it to happen just to see what would happen, but it's a head scratcher. Like I would think Ring of Honor and Sing of Claire Group and Ring of Honor would want to make themselves an already established promotion without having to acquire another company's talent or TV spot or whatever.
Not necessarily. because I read recently about how Ring of Honor was partnering with New Japan because they're worried about losing talent because they have some contracts coming up and different things like that.
Yes. Yeah, no, the Ring of Honor, I did a course in 2 Verses probably a couple months ago about the special relationship between Ring of Honor and New Japan and how it's going to be mutually beneficial to both companies to help Ring of Honor keep their talent by giving them more places to work in Japan, more money.
Right. And so I think this kind of ties into that where they can like just absorb a share of the wrestling market to themselves, and that makes them
become even stronger. And it'll just be, I mean, if that does happen,
I think that's their logic behind it.
If that does happen, there will absolutely could be considered feasible competition at some point in time to WWE, because I don't think they're ever going to compete on like the business sense, but eyeballs, as far as eyeballs watching it, there's going to be a lot of people watching it if they make that move. That's why I think maybe WWE is trying to get in there and maybe saying, all right, we want the AJ Styles tape library, the Samoa Joe tape library, Sting back catalog, the Sting missing collection. That's going to
Sting witness protection collection.
Yeah, the Sting, the lost years, I guess you could say.
Bobby Roode, James. There's so many guys that they especially have under contract now that they can.
I heard that Bully Ray has gone back to the Indies now, and he's now going by Bully Ray now. So
awesome.
Yeah.
So I think you just nailed it. Like that's why Ring of Honor wants to buy TNA, and that's why WWE was like, oh, we don't want Ring of Honor to do that. You
think they saw the writing on the wall, like, oh, okay, if this is I think WWE saw it as this is available to us. This is an asset we could purchase, content for our network. We would have.
Would WWE want they'd buy the entire tape library outright for one?
They would buy it as a tape library. They wouldn't buy it as a show to put on as a new show to put wrestling on.
Right.
They would buy it
a tape library. And I could see them uploading the old TNA pay-per-views, and there are a lot of gem matches on those early shows.
Yeah, it would be like, hey, you want to
watch Triple X, Six Sides of Steel, Turning Point 04.
Yeah, you want to watch AJ Styles' early career. You want to watch Samoa Joe's early career. Bam.
Yeah, you want to watch, the great, Aiden Christopher. There's so many guys and the matches that.
But if I'm Vince McMahon, am I really spending $30 million pretty much just for network content?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's not just if it was just for the network content, that'd be one thing. But if they see that ROH is interested and that's ROH is interested, now it's $30 million for network.
Right. And there's definitely some talent that
they can literally strip it for parts first and sell them to ROH.
Right. Their guy. I could see him bringing in guys like maybe 3. Mike Bennett, Maria. We're talking about before the show. I don't see him bringing in back in Josh Matthews because he's a fucking tool.
I think Josh Matthews has CM Punk'd himself, burning the bridge and then
some of these
nuking.
TNA guys need to have somebody screen their tweets. That's all I'm saying.
Or just should not be on Twitter in general.
Yeah.
I completely agree with you. If WWE buys Impact, they take the valuable commodities are obviously the people that they just let go. Aaron Rex. Cody Rhodes is now just signed for WWE TNA or Impact. Sorry, I keep on saying that. We have to newspeak. Newspeak, yeah, exactly. We have to use Newspeak now. No longer Divas, women's wrestlers. It's no longer TNA. It's Impact Wrestling. Taking all the assets from Impact Wrestling, save for the ones of their former assets that Impact Wrestling just picked up. Kurt Angle still has some value to it, so they obviously bring him up. But Sandow and Rhodes will move down the line and continue to work in the independents. Mike Bennett, I think there's some juice behind Mike Bennett. Obviously, Maria's a package deal.
Well,
I think the WWE uses that because I think they'll use that as a way to strengthen NXT.
Yes.
Because I don't think a lot of those guys are Monday Night Raw, SmackDown Live ready. I think that would be they'll move the talent. Moose. I know that they were trying to they were going to re-sign Moose, but then there was the domestic abuse issue that kind of turned them off. I think that would be their way of requiring Moose. Like, well, we didn't want to overtly sign Moose, but we'll spend $30 million to buy a company. No, well, we just happened to get this guy who's a great worker and a physical marvel and connect with the crowd.
Creams himself over.
Oh my God!
Sorry.
I would hope though, I would hope that they would do. Triple H would get a hold of Moose, and Vince wouldn't be like the one that would be entirely in charge of the Moose creative, because that's how you end up with. If they would, Moose would be Mr. Hughes 2.0. Like,
oh God.
like,
yeah, Mr. Hughes is what they briefly named him with Chris Jericho really early on in his career in WWE.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's what
he was like the generic black bodyguard guy. Like I think he might have even been like Shawn Michaels' bodyguard after Diesel. Yeah, he was just a bodyguard, big black bodyguard. Very nice guy in wrestling. Like I've never met him before, but everybody that I've ever had to talk to him and met him.
But he's got a good reputation.
But very middle of the road creative wise.
Yeah,
just generic tough guy. That's what I would hope they would not turn Moose into that. Anyway, yeah, we'll see where this goes, man. I'm very intrigued. It was interesting to see a wrestling business article in the New York Post business section. Like that's a sign to me that the wrestling business, and this wasn't even about WWE implicitly. This was about another wrestling company.
Right.
And it made a major happened to be a player in the story. But a major wrestling promotion made a major media publication. Old media publication too, by the way. Like that's the ultimate glass ceiling.
Well, I don't know. Because first off, I wasn't in page 6. That was
it was the New York Post business section. I think that means a lot because page gossip column though. But that's page 6 is the New York Post. That's all that anybody reads about.
Anyway,
page 6 in the sports section.
It's the reason it was in the business section it wasn't about the sport aspect. It was about the business aspect and them acquiring reason.
Yes, I get that, but
Final.
I think it only in the gossip section if all of us somehow it's whatever Kim Kardashian wanted to buy it or something. I don't know, just.
Could you imagine that KPW? Like, oh my God, we went to Reseda. Wasn't one of the Kardashians at an PWG show?
No,
that was Sofia Vergara was at.
That's who it was.
Yeah,
but was a Kardashian never went to a PWG show?
I don't think so. I hope they don't. I don't think they should be too excessive.
I mean, dude, if they want to go to PWG shows, I have no problem with that. But like, could you imagine that though? Like,
we went to PWG already. How many times have they had former reality stars or Impact?
Dude, that would be. I mean, WWE did reach out, but that would be the ultimate thing. That like the ultimate Hail Mary. Well, we're gonna get a Kardashian. We'll get Chloe or whatever the young one is to come on and wrestle for us.
The fact that I even know that, I'm disappointed.
Isn't it Courtney? I'm not
the fact
sure.
that I even know it, the fact that any of us even know it, is the fact that even have made this podcast is slightly disturbing. I even want to strike. I feel sick for even mentioning it.
Yeah,
but
I mean, how many times have they brought in, TNA former Jenna Maraska? They had Johnny Fairplay. Jesse wrestles from Big Brother, who made another appearance on this season in this whole. It was like it was like a competition, whether Dunk-a-Hunk or whatever the fuck it was, and it's like, and I'm thinking like. Well, I guess they're not paying right now, so I guess Jesse needed a paycheck. High-class
television from Big Brother, as always.
Sooner... Anyway, that's enough.
It's gonna be interesting to see how the story develops. Watch all media spaces, because I think we could be in for a major paradigm shift, a changing of the balance of power in pro wrestling. If this deal goes one way or the other. I mean, if it goes one way, it's just for the rich getting richer and WWE consolidating their power at the top. But if Ring of Honor is able to, and Sinclair Group is able to get a hold of this, we could be in for a legitimate wrestling war again, which I'm all in favor of. All right, so now we're going to talk about some lighter news. In weird wrestling news, Ryan Reeves has now officially changed his name to Ryback. I don't know if he's Ryback Reeves or he's just Ryback like Madonna. But Ryback.
Ryback Ryan. Good for you, dude, for giving the middle finger to Vince.
Yeah, that's a great way to like, keep yourself. I mean, obviously, can he still use the theme song?
Probably not.
I mean, if he goes to an independent show, is Vince McMahon going to send his ninjas out to stop him? No, he's not. Obviously, they couldn't use it on DVDs, but
yeah,
like, if he's at a local show that's not being, filmed or distributed, he could get away with using it.
Is he going to get an animatronic dinosaur?
And I've always said I think Ryback is the perfect guy for a guy like New Japan to invest money in. I would pop so huge for Ryback animatronic dinosaurs.
Right.
Ryback and Okada riding together on animatronic dinosaurs.
Yes.
In the feud, in this feud that kind of is going on now in New Japan, that's not really a feud, but in the ongoing feud between Tanahashi and Okada, Tanahashi is now best friends with Michael Elgin. Well, fucking Okada goes out and gets himself a big strong gaijin in Ryback.
Oh damn!
Could you imagine those tag matches?
Holy
Ryback,
shit.
Ryback and Okada back.
Yes!
The tag team? Rykada?
Rykada.
Rykada?
Nice.
No,
I think Rykada might be better.
I had my arms up. I was so excited.
Did you do a Rainmaker pose when you did that?
No, that was just I stood up and put my arms in the air and I was like, yeah.
I mean, let's hope. Let's put it out into the ether. Let's
hope.
Secret that and let's hope we see that.
We're gonna take a page from Ryback and we're gonna secret that shit.
Yeah. Ryback and Okada on animatronic dinosaurs. I might even tweet him. That'd be cool. Go to New Japan and then ride an animatronic dinosaur with Okada. Yes. And see if he retweets it or just completely blocks me.
Oh god!
Either way, we'll have an answer.
Yeah. Or can Okada ride Ryback like an animatronic dinosaur?
Oh god!
No, that'd be too demeaning for him. But
you know what? I'm gonna pin that as a tweet that he should have an animatronic dinosaur.
I want our Photoshop department to Photoshop Ryback and Okada on animatronic Velociraptors, and Okada's gotta have the giant sword in the background too, the Final Fantasy sword.
Nice.
Wow, I'm your Photoshop department, so let's scale that down a little.
Yeah.
I'm not that talented.
No.
So I'll do what I can.
Yeah.
That's we went off on a.
I love this because you can't trademark a real name. So if Reeves decided to change his
name. Warriored it, man. He warriored it. Good for him.
And, and it was a kind of not really a similar thing, but when the Dudleys went to TNA in 2005, and he was Devon, his brother Devon. It's like, well, that's his real name, so he can be brother Devon.
His name is Devon, and he's a good brother.
Oh, it works. Yeah.
Simple thing. Simple thing.
Seriously, Ryback just needs to go to Japan because they would love it. Because him stiffing the shit out of people.
He could get over. He could work as stiff as he wants. They would like it. I think matches between Ryback and Makabe, Ryback and Ishii.
Oh, geez,
Ryback and Shibata, the dynamics between Ryback being gigantic and Shibata being a skinny guy that's just ripped as all shit, and that is a legit tough guy. I would love to see that. And then on top of Ryback could be Okada's powerful to match Michael Elgin. Michael Elgin versus Ryback in New Japan for the never openweight title. Hello, or the. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm fanboying out about it. I'm fanboying out about Ryback. When would you ever think that happening?
Yeah.
I haven't said he's dumber than fuck once yet.
No, I think he'd be dumber than fuck not to go to Japan at this point.
Exactly. He should do that.
Please go to Japan.
I'm pretty much saying that just because I want to see him and Okada and animatronic dinosaurs.
I want to, like, if I spoke enough Japanese, I would go speak Japanese to Gato-san right now, but I don't speak enough Japanese to Gato-san. Yeah. But
I'm going to Ryback.
Ryback and Okada on animatronic dinosaurs. That's the name of the episode.
Boom.
Ryback and Okada on animatronic dinosaurs. Oh, yeah. So, good for Ryback. I hope it works out. Go to Japan, ride animatronic dinosaurs with Okada. Moving right along, we talked about Cody Rhodes debuting in Impact Wrestling along with his wife. It just goes further to show that Cody Rhodes has embraced he's truly happy in wrestling. I shouldn't say he embraced the step down, but he's doing something that's making him happy in wrestling as opposed to just doing some place where he thinks he belongs and going with it, going with the flow.
Also shows money is not everything.
No, money is not everything when you've come from money and you already have money.
I'm well aware of it.
Yes. We all grew up poor, so
yeah.
we have a much different take on the changing factor of money.
But after a certain amount, like because we're
exactly,
yeah,
you're just saving for other people at that point, or you're saving for the estate tax.
Yeah, like we're the sort of people. It's like, if you're gonna get like, what is $3 million if you're used to living on 20,000?
That's why I like the game $1 Million Butt. Like it really goes to show you what you would do for $1 million.
And surprisingly, not much.
There's not much you wouldn't do for $1 million. Like I'm poor. I would willing to put up with an awful lot. Like I think when we did the podcast, I think the one thing I said I wouldn't do for $1 million was wake up and get hit in the head with a basketball every day, because it's continuously every day getting hit in the head with a basketball for the rest of my life.
Anything that's continuous every day, I would say no to immediately.
Or something that would happen anyway. We're wildly off rails. We are in Tangent City, bitch. So this weekend is the first ever Monday night.
Episode.
Tangent City, bitch. We've had Tangent City, bitch, as an episode before, I think. We are on the weekend of the first ever Raw exclusive pay-per-view. Yes. Noche de Campeones. No, it's not Noche. It's Clash of the Champions. I'm so used to saying Night of Champions. It's Clash of Champions. Newspeak. Using Newspeak. Clash of the Champions making its comeback after a long hiatus on the WWE Network, being exclusively a WCW property. Something, again, you may have heard on Slamcast. Just saying. I like that we're living in this world now where it seems to... Ooh, burp. Reset. I like that we're living in this world now that every 2 weeks we have a professional wrestling event, a major quote-unquote pay-per-view. I have a weird calling it pay-per-view now because
it's special.
It's not a network special, WWE network special.
I wish they were every 3 weeks instead of every 2 weeks.
Newspeak. Have to use Newspeak.
I wish they were every 3 weeks instead of every 2 weeks. Because
it does
Raw,
get
SmackDown, and the pay-per-views are like the closest thing I have to responsibility, and I'm starting to feel like this is too much for me to handle. I really wish it was every 3 weeks. This is why I don't have a job.
If it starts to get 2 weeks, if it starts to get 2 weeks for you to handle, then obviously you should just stop. But
well, I will. But like that's what I mean. Like I think like
here's the thing. I think now that I like the every 2 weeks thing. It gives continual interest. There's always something happening on the network. And, I think that was a lot of the things with
every 3 weeks instead of every 2 weeks. I like the concept.
Here's why every 2 weeks work, because then you're having guaranteed 2 events, quote unquote, marquee events per month on your platform.
That is true.
Will help drive in subscribers and help bring in people that were not, that may have stopped subscribing or got or using somebody else's or whatever. So
that is true.
There's something to be said in having it. What I'm saying now is, now that we're in the middle of football season and the time when WWE has their biggest competition outside of, or biggest competition ever for wrestling outside of, like, the WCW, which was the NFL, are we married to this Sunday night at primetime time slot? Like, would it be best to do it on a Wednesday when no one's watching and there is no college football or there is no regular football? Maybe having a special episode of Monday Night Raw where it's that, like, instead of having it be a pay-per-view, it's Monday Night Raw Clash of the Champions.
I told you this before, but I think that's the way it's headed. Like, years down the road, it will be that.
It's yes, I think it will eventually share that, but there's no need to. Why wait? Let's start that now. Like, they're no longer married to the concept, to the time slot of Sunday. I mean, maybe it's like an arena thing. You can't just how far in advance they have booked these venues, and that's the easiest time that they can. Advanced. I mean, how far in advance do you think they book up? A year, 2 years in advance? I would say probably at least 2 years in advance. They would.
Yeah, exactly. So they have to start. So they might be booking now that way. We don't know.
Right. Very true. Very true. I think I do think we will see it at some point in time, and I just want it sooner because I want to watch football and not have to choose between wrestling and football. Like, I want to be able to. Like, I like watching wrestling live, but I also like watching football live as well, and I don't like having to have to watch two screens at the same time. One TV is having the WWE, the other TV has football.
I can't. No.
It's hard to do that when you're at somebody's house and they have it. Like Fatu's got it, where he's got the two screens going, and invariably, I stop paying attention to one.
I always do the same thing. I only watch it. The other screen just disappears from me. I can't. I have to ignore it.
Like I said, hopefully we're entering this area where these conflicts will not happen. But we do have a very, very stacked card. Like Monday Night Raw pulled out all the stops for their first brand exclusive pay-per-view.
Trying to get the call back, of course. Brandon?
Back. Yes, I am back.
Okay.
Okay.
You were just on a brand exclusive pay-per-view.
Yeah, so I think the first brand exclusive pay-per-view. Sorry, I'll take it from here. Yep. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the first brand exclusive pay-per-view is coming up this weekend. I think Monday Night Raw, with their first one, definitely shows how they've got the balance of power of talent. SmackDown has great talent as well, but as far as the marquee talent is very clearly on Monday Night Raw. And it's very clear that Monday Night Raw is the flagship show, no matter what SmackDown tries to believe. Right. With the talent that they've got, Monday Night Raw is the marquee show. Where should we begin? Because this is a stacked cards.
Yeah, we'll start the pre-show and just work our way up. Alicia Fox, Nia Jax on the pre-show. I think this one's pretty obvious. Nia.
Yeah. Alicia Fox is just clearly being fed to Nia Jax at this point. The Nia Jax train continues to be built, and it's only a matter of time before Nia Jax is on a collision course with Charlotte. Either one of them will be face, one of them will be,
heel. Yeah. Leslie?
Oh, my God.
Yeah, we're all in agreement on this one.
Yeah. I'm kind of excited to see... I thought Alicia Fox, like, the way she handled her like a rag doll, like, grabbing her by her hair. I was really entertained by that.
Yeah, no, I love the funny moment that they got to in the build when Alicia was just, like, going crazy. I like showing Alicia Fox as, like, crazy sexy. Like, she's sexy, but she'll fucking snap on you and fucking pull a knife on you. Wild card. Wild card. She's a wild card. Like I like that. But she's very clearly just being fed to Nia Jax. Though.
Yes. But she is doing it in a very entertaining way. Good for her.
Yes. So.
Absolutely.
Yep. All right. Let's go with the final match in the best of 7 series. That's tied 3-3. Cesaro, Sheamus. I am picking Cesaro. Cesaro definitely needs a big win here. I think him beating out Sheamus in this is going to help. And hopefully in line for a future Universal title shot.
Yeah, I think... what was I going to say? I think... Look... I respect them trying to build Sheamus. Like, I get why they're doing this. Like, then it's the perfect balance between the two. But, I mean, your fan base wants to see a guy get a win so badly and get that opportunity to truly shine. Why are you giving them somebody that they're Sheamus is approaching big show levels right now. And here's the thing, I don't hate Sheamus. I don't understand some of the things that they do creatively with him. He does it great. He does it good, whatever they do. I just don't understand why. So,
yeah,
I want to believe that this is going to be Cesaro's moment. Shine on Monday Night Raw, but something tells me that Sheamus is going to win this match.
Yeah.
Something just tells me. And then Sheamus wrestle Kevin Owens for the WWE Universal title.
And then proceed to beat. Well, because either one probably going to beat. It's, KO's on that title for a while. Bottom line.
Yes.
So, let's go
Absolutely.
with...
I think Cesaro.
I'm picking
Cesaro. If for no other reason, if they gave Cesaro this best of 7 against Sheamus, the only reason people are watching is literally because Cesaro's in it, and there's a chance for winning the World Championship title, and they do not put Cesaro in a winning position, people will literally riot.
I think there will be a lot of people that will threaten that, but it's just going to be a lot of discontented people.
It's like, really?
Really, bro? Really, bro? Like that's what you did?
I really think they will give it to Cesaro because they know they really have to.
Yeah, they want to talk about this new era. Well, guess what? Sheamus is part of the old era.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it, but I feel I've been down this road before with other people in Sheamus, and we've been ultimately disappointed. Like this is Daniel Bryan all over again, people. 11 seconds. All I'm gonna say.
18 seconds.
18 seconds. Sorry, 18
I just
seconds.
watched the documentary because I got it for $10 in Hastings. Thank you, Hastings going up for sale.
Thank you. Horrible business practices.
Yes.
It's a terrible thing to say, Nicholas.
Hey, I got your DVDs for like under $20, so I'm happy. So take advantage. Anyway, Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho, who just donated $3,000 to Rico's health fund, who's all our best wishes and thoughts and everything out to him.
Yeah, you hate to see when a former brother our good brother has to resort to the fans to subsidize medical costs, and that's just, further goes to show you that, the NFL takes care of its professional athletes after, they are retired, and as a measure of appreciating them for the sacrifices that they've done that have helped them to be successful. WWE, if ever WWE wants to being considered a legitimate form of sports and entertainment, there's these who want to be totally considered legitimate on the sports level. They have to have some form of taking care of past people, not just people that helped now get to where they are, but people that helped before that to get to that point.
There were some kind of player, yeah. Rico, former Las Vegas Cop, he was on American Gladiators back in the 90s, and then he went to WWE, and he was Billy and Chuck's manager, and part of, and Mo and Rosie. It was like, I still love that. Did I just hear myself say 3? Oh, that was great. Just a story, Bischoff. That he did have makeup on all backstage, and he pranked his friend. Who had no idea it was him. Hilarious. So, yeah. Anyway, Sami Zayn versus Chris Jericho. Brandon,
I accidentally muted myself. I'm going with Sam. I forget that the red light's on sometimes. I'm going with Sami Zayn in this because I really think Chris Jericho's job now is just to put these younger guys over and give them really great matches. And Sami Zayn,
the gift of Jericho.
Jericho, yeah, and that's exactly what he's been doing.
Mm-hmm.
With
also putting people on the list of Jericho.
The list, yeah, I love everything that he's been. He's just been fucking.
It warms my soul. And I co-sign everything you said about Sami Zayn.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm picking Sami. It definitely gives Sami a big win here.
Oh shit! Hang on, I got.
At least we're not. Well, we're technically not live, but yeah, I'm not gonna edit this. Fuck it. Except for anyway, yeah.
It was bullshit. It was bullshit.
Fucking bullshit. Yeah.
It was.
Yeah, so
it was.
Are we all in agreement on this one? Sami over Jericho?
Yes. Yes. I think that's absolutely
100% chance of Jericho calling Sami a stupid idiot in this match.
Absolutely.
Yes.
I want to get all the non-title matches out of the way because this is Clash of Champions, and we'll start with the Cruiserweight Championship, TJ Perkins versus Brian Kendrick.
Yeah, we did see the new era go into really full gear on Monday Night Raw with the debut of the Cruiserweight division. I'm really hoping the Cruiserweight division is more than just 5 guys.
Yeah, I think Gargano and Ciampa will be there soon. It's just that, Gargano just got married. He's probably at his honeymoon, so... Yeah.
And there's, I still think there's a bit of a story told between DIY and the Revival. So, let's...
They have to start somewhere. You can't...
Somewhere. It's 5 guys. It's 5 guys. And again, the marquee guys like Zack Sabre Jr. and Ibushi weren't signed by the WWE. Were literally brought on, contracted for the CWC.
Yep.
So short of those...
But definitely for right now, Brian Kendrick is, I would say, the perfect choice. It gives legitimacy to this title in the fans' eyes on Monday Night Raw who would know who Brian Kendrick is. It gives...
Yeah, no, I felt I felt very good for Brian Kendrick getting the win back. So for him to be the first guy to get a shot at TJ Perkins is very deserving of him. They've talked all about this career revival that he's been on. And really renaissance. And again, Brian Kendrick is somebody who absolutely deserves it. And if Brian Kendrick wins and he gets a legit 10-minute "you deserve it" chant, I mean, that would be awesome.
But I think they're taking the off of Perkins this quick.
Yeah, I think it just makes sense to have TJ Perkins be the Cruiserweight champ for a while to build him as a star.
Yeah, and then, you put him up against Brian Kendrick, who has legitimacy, who is a veteran, who is, everything. It builds the idea of this title up as a legitimate, title, and it's not a throwaway. And that's definitely the best way to do this. I mean, the way they did that Cruiserweight match on Raw, where they had, it was, the purple for the Raw Cruiserweights, and it was something.
I could see the Cruiserweight division being so successful that SmackDown tries to emulate. Within a year, I guarantee you, SmackDown will maybe try and emulate and have their own Cruiserweight division.
Yeah, I think they started because, Raw's has longer and needs something.
Raw has
but
3 hours, yeah.
I don't think... Then they'll definitely...
Yeah, I just don't think SmackDown needs it. I think just the idea, because SmackDown's only 2 hours, they don't have as much time to fill, and they definitely do a great job in filling that time when they need to. But when Raw's, 3 hours, I still say they should open up most weeks at least. If they still want to do their little 40 from the beginning, fine, but first match should be something Cruiserweight. Give the crowd a nice hot start to the show, and then, have Braun Strowman come in, murder somebody,
Oh boy, Braun Strowman. Vote for this. We're all going with Perkins on this?
Perkins, yeah. Anyway. Alright, so let's see. We've got Rusev versus Roman, as my connection decided to fuck off again.
Hi. Back.
Brandon, you still there? Yeah, Brandon's still there. Leslie.
We lose. Was just Leslie we lost?
Leslie? Leslie? Fucking. Oh, Jesus. Why? Alright, everyone back?
Yeah. Hello.
I am back.
Alright.
Where did we cut out at?
I was just starting off at Rusev and Roman.
Okay.
US title.
So Rusev versus Roman U.S. title match. In the feud that I think has been very vastly underrated. Absolutely. And I'm gonna say it. Rusev is ready for a main event title push. Give it to me. Sometime in the next year, put the belt on that guy, because
yes,
killing it.
Yes.
So
at this point, do you take the title off of him and put it on Roman, make him look real strong, or?
I don't know, man. I think I'm going to go this way. I'm going to be contrarian and go with what I don't think WWE, or what I think WWE is going to do, and I'm going to go with they're going to keep the belt on Rusev, just to make Rusev look real strong. Build the new star, Rusev.
I don't know. I think with the way they've been consistently turning the crowd volume.
Not clean. It's not going to be a clean win.
Right, but yeah, I think with just the fact that they're still holding on to this idea that Roman is the guy, and they keep turning the crowd volume completely down. You notice it. It's yeah, he's getting booed, but it's all of a sudden, quiet.
Yeah.
Roman, I'm picking Roman. He's winning that title, and I think it would be good for him. It keeps him, first of all, it keeps him out of the main event when the fans will really fucking riot. Yeah. But yeah, Leslie.
Co-sign what Brandon said.
All right, I'll be the odd man out of that one. I'll take it. We have the New Day versus the Good Brothers for the tag titles.
I hate to say it. And I called it wrong, and I called it once before, and I was wrong, but I think that New Day's reign as WWE Tag Team Champions comes to an end this Sunday when Gallows and Anderson basically cement their legacies as one of the best tag teams of this generation. By winning the WWE Tag Team Champions.
Just so you know, Sex Ferguson and Shady Peanuts are...
He thinks it's time. He thinks it's time.
Yeah, well, I think we called it for SummerSlam, and then Jon Stewart.
That fucking...
That's the one fish that still puzzles me that you would... And then it's like, and again, fucking Backlash, all definitive conclusions, no fuck finishes. You had a couple of dirty, cheating, but those guys are heels, Miz and AJ. You had Miz's wife spray something in Ziggler's eyes, and AJ did the best Undertaker and kicked Ambrose in the dick. So, yep. Yeah, it's time. Put the belts on Gallows and Anderson. AJ's the champion over on SmackDown. You build that up into some kind of Raw versus SmackDown 5-on-5 Survivor Series match in Canada. And those three guys are on the team together, and they're all holding belts.
Man, you're pulling out my heartstrings, brother. Pulling out my heartstrings. Yeah, man. I think it's time. Like, this is not a slight on the New Day. The New Day has been continuously fresh, but I mean, there are how many 3-time WWE Tag Team Champions out there? I can't think of very many 3-time.
At least in this modern
era, yeah, in the more modern era. Like, I can't really think of any time teams that have been 3-time Tag Team Champions. Mm-hmm. So I would love to see that. I don't want to see this feud end, but I want to see the titles change hands.
Yeah. So yeah, Gallows and Anderson. Are we all?
Yes.
Okay.
I'm in lockstep agreement. Yes.
Yeah. And now we have the triple threat match for the WWE Raw Women's Championship: Charlotte versus Sasha versus Bayley. So this definitely adds another wrinkle into this whole Sasha feud. I don't know. I think Bayley does. Maybe Bayley ends up taking the fall. Maybe she's just I think she's in there to get a big main event, kind of a big pay-per-view spot. I don't think you take the belt off of Charlotte.
I think this is where you have like a close call. Like, Bayley gets so close, and then it's like Sasha and Bayley working together, and then at some point in time,
Charlotte gets taken out, and then it's between them.
Yeah, and then Charlotte comes in and picks up the pieces.
And just picks up the scraps, yeah.
Yeah, and gets the win over, like a roll-up victory on Bayley, and she's like, what, I lost? I was doing so well.
Yes.
Yeah, and that's how you build that story, this underdog. Because you could do the exact same thing they did on NXT with Bayley.
And people, they could, and people would be like, oh, they're doing the same exact thing in NXT, and they would still lap up like, give it to me. Yes. What were you going to say, Liz?
Oh, I completely agree. Once again, just completely agree with you.
Okay. Yeah, man, people won't care. It was so good the first time. They'll take it.
And
They'll take it.
Bayley has that, connection with the audience. That
totally agree, man.
So yeah, Charlotte's
in this match.
Yep. Leslie?
Yeah, same. I think Charlotte's winning it, and they'll give Bayley like a close call, like you said, that whole deal.
Yep.
Cool.
And now the main event: Kevin Owens versus Seth Rollins.
God, I can't. Like, this is so weird. 2016 has been the most awesomely brutal year ever. Mm-hmm. Some awesome shit has happened, but some incredibly atrocious, horrendous shit has happened. So it's like, I guess you could say it's the most balanced year ever. Yeah.
And, right after
Owens is now WWE champion, wrestling him in the pay-per-view again.
My God, really?
Back.
Everybody back?
I'm back now.
Jesus. Yeah. The internet could take the awesomeness.
Are you back now?
The champ. Fuck! Okay, now is everybody back. And
I'm back.
Yeah, anyway.
Alright, so What was he going to
Yeah.
We're all...
Basically, first of all, my internet's can't handle the awesome. It says Kevin's WWE champion.
Yes. Well, and we're three of us probably on Wi-Fi, so yeah. So we'll take it from... Just start the main event bit over.
Yeah.
2016, again, has been the most awesome year ever, but incredibly brutal. I'm so happy we're living in a year in which Kevin Owens is the WWE champion, wrestling Seth Rollins in a main event pay-per-view. If again, you would have told me this, I would have been like, yeah, right. Kevin Owens is going to be working at Walmart in 3 years.
Oh, shit.
I mean, because I just didn't think he was going to make it to that point, and he didn't seem like a guy that was going to go to Japan and work.
Yeah.
He seemed like he would just drop out and get a real job, and that would just be the end of it. So for him to be where he is now is tremendous testament to his work effort and talent. And for him to be given the spot that he is now isn't just showing that they have faith in that talent to give him such a high position on the card. The Seth Rollins face turn has been interesting. I mean, again, this is what happens when you get two talented guys. I just don't think you could miss. It's been kind of interesting. I'm waiting for more Triple H, and I think we're going to see Triple H in this. I think there's no reason for us not to see Triple H prevent Seth Rollins from taking the belt off of the guy that he put the belt on by screwing over Seth Rollins. So I think this is going to be the setup of our WrestleMania match this year. I think we're going to see it's going to be Seth Rollins against Triple H at WrestleMania this year. Calling it now. Episode 94.
Yes.
Seth Rollins versus Triple H. We're going to get our original WrestleMania event last year that we were supposed to get. You're going to get it this year. So
yep.
I'm going with Kevin Owens to win this by Triple H schmoz.
Yeah, I'm calling Owens too. You're not taking the title off him just yet. There's no way.
I think it'd be weirder if Triple H didn't make an appearance.
There's absolutely no effing way.
Yeah, exactly.
So we're all in the lockstep agreement.
Yeah. And,
cool.
I'm not only in lockstep with your who you think is going to win the match, like everything you've said about that.
Okay, well, that's the podcast. That's why we have
just
it.
Just how it goes, and you're not really going to get too many. I don't think you're going to get too many big surprises out of this. It's first Raw pay-per-view. I think they're gonna knock it out of the park, but it's gonna be. We're not quite into that period where we're still before Survivor Series when things really start to happen, and then start to go in the Royal Rumble season and all that. But at least for right now, it's really just them trying to put on a great show in competition with the NFL.
Yeah, I really think. And I think they may have a favorable matchup in the Sunday Night Football game this week.
Who's playing?
Hang on, I will find that out, actually. Really quickly, like look at my NFL fantasy app. Shooby-doo-doo-be-doo, ba-ba-da-doo-ba-doo, ba-ba-da-da-ma-da. Up. Open. That is Bears versus Cowboys. So, I mean, yeah, you'll get Cowboys fans, but that's not going to be a good game. That's going to be Dallas completely wiping the floor with Chicago. So, that game will be over with by halftime.
Yeah.
Or at least the third quarter. So, people will have, I assumedly, turned off, or unless the hardcore Cowboys fans that are going to watch, like Greco will probably watch every half of that game.
Yeah, probably sitting there like,
wanting to kill yourself. That's how I feel whenever I watch Cowboys. Oh, good night, Clash of Champions. Newspeak. Got to use Newspeak.
Yeah.
I am looking forward to it. I will probably watch it just as, again, to avoid watching the Dallas Cowboys on Sunday Night Football. So they have my
Dallas and
attention.
Chicago, two teams I do not give a shit about. Especially Chicago.
Two teams I just don't.
So.
Well, I mean, I might watch for Ezekiel Elliott. I have him in fantasy. Maybe. maybe I watch for that.
Right.
But
I don't play fantasy, so I have no stake in this at all.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Fuck him! I talked him! I wanna know, are you the man or are you a fucking piece of shit? No good motherfucker! Fucking bullshit! Bullshit Hulk Hogan! I'm the red all-American gold medal.
We have a special bonus Intelligent Jew update. Andrew Goldstein, former WWE creative and television writer and producer, joke maker, has now been gifted the title of Intelligent Jew by basically commenting the Iron Sheik. That's how you want to get, it's a quick way to Intelligent Jew status, send the Iron Sheik a complimentary tweet. And it also helps if you are a Jew as well, but that's my best way of doing it. And then we have some very words of encouraging wisdom from Iron Sheik. If you fuck with me, you could go fuck yourself forever. Some wise yet intelligent words from Iron Sheik.
Yes.
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is your Iron Sheik tweet of the week.
Fucking bullshit!
Alright.
Not best man, but slim pick this week. I did what I can.
Hey, you can go with definitely some wise word wisdom. That's
yeah,
always...
man. So let's do some pluggity plugs and...
Alright, Leslie,
she doesn't do anything to plug. You just watch my stuff.
Force the habit, yeah. Anyway, yeah. I'm over on YouTube at the Gaming Pegasus 187, Twitter, Gaming Pegasus 187, Facebook, Nick Horaceck, Wrestling/MMA Revolution is the Facebook group. Slamcast gets posted there, and it all goes up on iTunes. We are on iTunes. Rate us, leave us a comment, all that shit. Review us, all that shit.
Even if it's just hateful comments, I love hateful comments better than I like actual positive comments. Believe it or not, as weird as that sounds.
Instagram, Xbox Live, Wii U, Pegasus 187, Extreme Enigma on PSN. I'm all over the place. I gotta head to work here in about an hour, so I got fuck money to make.
That fuck money, bro. All right, so if you like the podcast, you should follow me on Twitter at @AbramandAllHope. You should follow me when I video games. I'm going to do a WWE 2K sit-down career mode, because I think the career mode on Xbox One won't be as shitty, I'm hoping, as the career mode was on PlayStation. I'm hoping.
Yeah, I mean, we are just a couple weeks out from 2K17, so...
I want to finish that. I want to finish this book. I want to be Ritage's boy. Like, that's what I want to be. Anyway, so TV/False Finish. False Productions is my company where I make all sorts of lovely content for the internets. A revolutionary for over 21 days, a mediocre force in revolutionary force in mediocre internet entertainment. Go check us out. Our website is coming soon. If you like this podcast, go support independent wrestling. That is the most purest form of independent wrestling. It's the purest form of the entertainment art form as you could get. It's the cocaine of wrestling. Not really. That's a very poor analogy.
Cocaine.
Very poor analogy. But it is where you are going to see it for essentially what it is, a wholesome night of family entertainment with muscle-bound egos. I'm digging myself into a hole here with this one. Go support independent wrestling. Again, it is the grassroots and the purest form of the sport. It's you never know who you might see. You might see somebody from your past. You might see somebody from the future.
For the future, yep.
There you go. I got back on track. So for myself, for Nick Horaceck, for Miss Leslie Joy, for Broken Michael Borhan, for
Dave, Leon, Steven
everybody
Richards,
else at the Retro Network, blah, 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 blah. I'm Brandon Liggan.
Yada, yada, yada.